In the world of high-performance engineering, some cars are built by spreadsheets. The Veloce G7 was built by emotion. Today on Chassis Archive, we're deconstructing a machine that bridges the gap between classic Italian racing heritage and modern aero dominance.
The G7, shorthand for the seventh generation of the Veloce lineage, represents a total mastery of mechanical grip and carbon fiber artistry.
Every curve on this bodywork serves a dual purpose: aesthetic elegance and ruthless aerodynamic efficiency.
Powering the G7 is a bespoke 6.5-liter V12. No turbos, no hybrid assistance, It utilizes a race-derived pushrod suspension system with magnetic ride control that adjusts 1,000 times per second.
The steering is hydraulic assisted, providing the kind of tactile feedback modern electric racks simply cannot replicate. This power unit is capable of screaming all the way to a 9,500 RPM redline, producing a staggering 820 horsepower.
Transferring that power to the rear wheels is a lightning-fast 7-speed dual-clutch transmission with shift times measured in milliseconds.
From its center-lock wheels to the vented wheel arches, the G7 screams track-focused while maintaining a street-legal silhouette.
Thermal management is key. Dedicated cooling channels ensure zero brake fade even after a full day of track abuse.
Combined with bespoke Pirelli rubber, the mechanical grip is so high it challenges the limits of human neck muscles.
And then there are the brakes, 390mm carbon ceramic discs that can bring this machine to a dead stop from 100 miles per hour in record distance.
But the real story of the Veloce G7 doesn't begin until you wake the beast resting behind the driver's seat. Every gear change feels like a bolt-action rifle, precise and tactile, keeping the engine perfectly within its power band. Inside, the cockpit is an exercise in driver-centric ergonomics. No distractions, just the ascent.
The Inconel exhaust system is tuned to a high-pitched crescendo, reminiscent of the golden era of Grand Prix racing.
To handle this much power, the G7 utilizes a flat floor design and an aggressive rear diffuser to create a vacuum effect.
The result is a car that doesn't just drive through the air, it pierces it, maintaining stability at extreme velocities.
0 to 60 is dispatched in just 2.6 seconds. But top speed is only half the story.
Even in the lower rev range, the V12 provides a torque curve that is remarkably flexible for such a high-strung engine.
The nose is dominated by a massive S-Duct, a direct carryover from formula-derived engineering to keep the front axle penned.
The chassis is where the Veloce G7 truly separates itself from the competition.
You feel every grain of asphalt, every change in camber through the palms of your hands.
In high-speed sweepers, the G7 generates over 1.8 Gs of lateral acceleration. It is a physical, demanding experience.
An advanced electronic differential manages torque distribution, allowing for surgical precision or exuberant oversteer at the flick of a switch.
With multiple drive modes from Strada to Corsa, the car's personality can be transformed instantly.
We took the Veloce G7 to the hills to see how this track monster handles real-world complexity.
On a narrow, winding road, the car feels smaller than it is. It shrinks around the driver, responding to the slightest input.
The sound of that V12 echoing off the canyon walls is a religious experience for any petrolhead.
It's not just about the speed, it's about the theater. The way the light plays off the Rosso paint, the smell of warm oil and burnt rubber.
The G7 rewards bravery. The harder you push, the more the chassis comes alive, revealing layers of capability. As the sun sets, the G7 transforms from a track weapon into a grand tourer, albeit a very loud and focused one.
This is why we love cars. It's the visceral connection between man and machine that the G7 perfects.
It's a reminder that even in an age of electrification, the internal combustion engine still has a story to tell.
A story of fire, air, and mechanical soul.
So where does the Veloce G7 sit in the pantheon of great Italian supercars?
It isn't just another limited-run exotic. It's a statement. a statement that high performance shouldn't be sanitized.
It's expensive, it's impractical, and it's unapologetically loud. And that is exactly why it's perfect.
The G7 is a masterpiece of chassis engineering and a love letter to the naturally aspirated V12.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the Veloce G7 here on Chassis Archive.